Cake pops are a delicious treat, but they also look delightful on a handmade card. This step by step tutorial includes tips for designing decorative cake pops, adding personalized messages, and embellishing your card to make it truly unique. Hi, everyone. I'm Mindy Eggen, and welcome to my channel. A couple of the products I'm going to be using today is the Scattered Hearts Frame Stencil and the Valentine Cake Pops die set. I'm going to start by creating my background. So I have a piece of white cardstock cut to 4¼ by 5½, and I'm placing some repositionable tape on the back to secure that down to my glass work surface. Next, I'm going to take that heart stencil and I'm going to place it kind of about centered on my card front, and then I'm going to secure the stencil down with some washi tape. Now, just as a tip, if I were to redo this card, I would probably place that large frame heart a little bit more closer to the top, and you'll see why in just a little bit. Now I'm going to do my ink blending. So I have a medium carnation ink, and I'm going to go around the outer edges, which has all those scattered hearts, and I'm going to apply them with a small blending brush or a medium-sized blending brush. Now, once I have all of those hearts filled in, I'm going to switch to a bigger blending brush. This one is quite large, it's very fluffy, and it was a lot quicker to cover the center of that heart using this larger brush. And I'm still using the same medium carnation ink at this point, but I do switch to a dark carnation, so something that is just a shade darker. And I'm taking a smaller detail blending brush and just going around the very outer edges of that heart frame to kind of give it a little bit of contrast and dimension. Then I can remove my stencil. My background is done, and I'm going to work on my cake pops. So I die cut the cake pops from a variety of scrap cardstock that I have between some light pinks, some reds, some kind of craft colored cardstock for the cake pop. And then I'm going to just go around the outer edges with different shades of ink, pretty much a shade darker than what the cardstock is what I'm going to ink blend the edges to help also kind of give it a little bit more dimension so it's not so flat looking. Then I'm going to work on the assembly, and I'm just going to use some liquid glue and my tweezers to attach all of these. Of course, there are many variations that you could create with these cake pops. I really loved kind of having that soft brown for one of them and then mix and matching the light pink with the red. I have my cake pop sticks that I die cut out of white cardstock, and then I have my confetti pieces. So there are some hearts, there's circles, there's some sprinkles, and I die cut those out of those same shades, the white, the red, and the light pink, and just kind of alternated and had a lot of fun decorating these. I found it helpful to put all of my sprinkles in this little triangle tray, and then you can either use tweezers like I have here, or you can use like a pick and stick tool to help pick up these small pieces. I have some more decorating I'm going to do to my sprinkles, but for right now, I'm going to set that off on the side and I'm going to add a little bit more to this background. I love having black splatters with either the reds or the bright pinks. So that's what I'm doing here is just taking some black ink that I mixed with just a smidge of water and adding some black splatters to that background. As I started working on the assembly of the card, my main thing is I wanted the cake pops to really be in the center of the heart, but my sticks were a little long and it just kind of looked a little off. So I'm trimming off some of the stick at the bottom. I did kind of rearrange my cake pops a little bit to make those sticks crisscross. And then I have a bow that I also had die cut and ink blended on. Then I'm going to add right where those sticks crisscross. So the cake pops are adhered together just using a tape runner. The tape runner was easy to use because then if I needed to move things, it was easy to take those apart. Now, I haven't really adhered anything down to my card front yet, but I did do a sentiment. This is off of the Valentine Greetings stamp set, and I die cut it multiple times and then just layered it together. Now, this is where I had mentioned I probably would have done that frame heart a little closer to the top because my cake pops, since I trimmed them, it just didn't seem to fit quite right. So I trimmed about 1/4 of an inch off the top of my panel. And then I'm trimming about 1/8 of an inch off of the sides. And that's going to keep my heart centered on my card front, but it brings the heart up towards the top just a little bit more. It would have saved me that extra step of trimming my panel down if I would have just started with that stencil more towards the top. So I lined the back of this panel with some foam strips and I'm adding it to a piece of light pink cardstock that ties in really well with this whole Valentine theme. And then I can go ahead and add my sentiment using some liquid glue. For the finishing touches, I have the Valentine mix from Pretty Pink Posh. These are some really pretty gems. It's actually an older collection. I just thought the colors fit the card a little bit better. So I'm adding those with my pick and stick tool and liquid glue. And then I'm finishing off my cake pops with some glossy accents to really make them nice and shiny. I didn't do it on this card, but you could also add some Prisma glitter over that glossy accents to really give it some sparkle. And that is the finished card project. I love these cake pops. They are so adorable, and there's so many different combinations you could use with this die set. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Here is another video that I think you might enjoy.